Good evening, good evening, good evening. You join me, A to G, and here we are for round 7 of the NxtGen Racing team versus team. We've got about 10 minutes to go until qualifying starts, 15-minute qualifying session followed by a 15-minute race. So should be quite an interesting one. I might be quiet for the next few minutes whilst I just chill out. Whilst the race gets started, I might do a lap or two and show you the track and the difficulties of it, especially with a 50-minute endurance. Good evening, Gr3, Mikey Austin, and Steve Hills already in the chat. Good evening, guys. Good to see you yet again. I'm going to turn my wheel on. I'm going to do a lap, like I've said. Have a sip of beer. And selfishly use the next couple of minutes to do a lap or two for myself. Right, sorry about that. Oh, I've got to do it again. Oops. Yeah, that's the settings. So I'm going to do a little lap or two before we actually get started properly, and then I'll do a proper introduction and we'll get into qualifying. So turn 1 at Suzuka, always tricky. Got to get it turned in with quite a lot of speed and then carry as much speed as you dare into the second apex. And oh god, that was bad. 2 wheels on the grass doesn't help for the turn in for that one. Get it over to the right hand side, open up this left hander. This is a crucial corner, pretty quick, but you need to make sure that you don't carry too much speed and carry on to the exit curve, because then the braking is incredibly difficult for that second part of that corner. I don't know what it's called, I should know really, but I don't. And a really slow left hand hairpin, heavy on the brakes into there. Come over the crest now, drop downhill. Famous spoon corner, braking roughly where the tarmac. There's a little piece of tarmac on the right hand side, using that as my braking marker. Looking to get a late apex on the second part of spoon for a good exit down the long straight. And then this is a crucial corner as well, especially if the guys find themselves side by side, which you can do because it's such a long straight and the slipstream going through 130R. And then roughly, oh, a bit too late actually, around the 100 mark I was going to say for the braking, but missed it a little bit. That's a lap. It's quite a long lap at Suzuka. I'll go for a flyer, see what we can do, and then I'll jump out and we'll get ready for qualifying. Oh, too much. Too late on the brakes, too much understeering to there, too much steering angle and time lost, scrubbing off the speed. Trying to hook up this section as best as possible. Not very well though, gone purple, but exactly what I said, don't do it. When I drove around on that first lap, right, I'll just get out of everyone's way now, I've messed it up. I said don't do it, go wide onto the curb, and that's exactly why there. So, there's a little view of the track at least. Right, we're only 3 minutes away, so actually get kind of started. So, good evening everyone. This is NxtGen Racing's team versus team, P1, MRC, CRT, Charlton Racing Team, and who else? NxtGen as well, obviously. All racing together in the Group 3 Championship. This is round 7 at Suzuka, and tonight we have a 50-minute endurance race. A 15-minute qualifying session before that to determine the grid order, and hopefully a good race to follow. Suzuka providing us with a good track, so hopefully we see some good racing tonight. Sponsored by Team Oliver Racing and Excite Energy Drinks this championship, and there is prizes provided by Team Oliver Racing, which is very generous of them. Go check them out on Facebook, give them a like, give them a follow. Very impressive team they are. So Burnt Fry switched up his livery last week, looking good in the BMW once again, M6. Just wait for qualifying to start now. Everyone just getting a little bit of last minute practice in before we get underway. Front brake discs of gnarly pop glowing there. Couldn't get my words out then. That's it, Degner 1 and 2. I knew I kind of knew the track in a way. That's why I knew the spoon, but on 130R, but I just couldn't remember the overload bits to it. I'm terrible at calling names, I'm going to be honest. I can remember like 3 out of 10 on any given track. Great time we see there from Burnt Fry, 157.871 in practice. That's very quick indeed. Let's see if we can manage that in qualifying. Tiny Tortoise joining us once again. Lucky Bucky, Gumsy, oh, flicking down, see myself sat there, which reminds me I've got to jump out. So, Mrs. Miggins. New guy joining us this week. Oh, big moment. Oop, got it all gathered back up though. Mrs. Miggins racing with CRT, Charlton Racing Team. And it'll be quite interesting to see how it goes. So here we go. This is qualifying about to start. Here we go. This is good. Right. So a couple of dives out of the pitch straight away. First car out. Followed by, oops, excuse me, Armin. All piling out of the pits. Looking to get a slipstream, no doubt, off the car in front for the fast lap after the out lap they're about to do. Quite a few AMGs in this championship in the Pro-Am lobby. Sorry, I've just been messing about with my phone. And few other cars in there, in and amongst, but a lot of Mercedes AMG Group 3 being chosen for this championship. Cutler being an exception to the rule there in the Audi R8, and Armin behind him as well in the Aston Martin. Vanquish, I think it is. Damien. Mrs. Miggins in the Jaguar. And then Burnt Fry. Oh, Burnt Fry on the grass as he tries to get through the traffic. Heading towards 130 yard down the long straight, but all got a little bit bunched up there. All trying to find space, heading onto the fast lap now. Coming towards the line on their outlap. Burnt Fry's incredibly close to the back of Lucky Bucky as they come over to start the fast lap. Oh no, they're all coming into the pits. I'm not sure why that is, but they're all pitting straight away. Maybe they've got picked up damage already. I didn't pay any attention, but I wouldn't have thought that they picked up damage. Right, sorry, my phone wasn't quite working there. So good evening, Paul. Carrington, good evening, mate. Tony Deadman, that's a good name. That's Mrs. Miggins. So it's not an old woman like the name suggests. So, about the only person actually on a fast lap now is Steerwheel and Cutler. I'm not sure why, but pretty much everyone else went into the pits straight away. Cutler's on the hard tyre as well here, so there's just some confusion what's going on in qualifying here. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Maybe they're just looking to burn fuel down. But be interesting to see who comes over the line fastest on this first attempt with full fuel. Again, medium tyre being used by Gnarly Pop. Most people on the soft tyre. Neutron Storm on the medium as well, so surprised to see in qualifying, especially Cutler on the hard. Very odd indeed. Look at this, Burnt Fry trying to overtake. He's heading to 130R once again. Not what you want to really be getting up to in a qualifying lap, but there you go. Finds himself in the position with the slipstream that he ends up side by side, probably losing time overall because of that as well. Well, let's see what times these guys can put in. So as he crosses over the line, we have Gnarly Pop in first place with 201.466. So not too bad, but we've seen a lot quicker in practice already. 1:57 there was in practice, so we're looking for a quicker time overall towards the end of the session. That will be. We're getting a couple of cars still on their out lap here. It's a bit mixed up now because of that opening lap where quite a lot of the cars pitted at the end. Let's see what these guys do, Phil and Damien, as they come towards the end of the lap. Not really, actually, they're miles away. Sure, really, who to watch here. Let's stick on board with Stair Wheel Racing as he's in Lucky Bucky's slipstream. See if he makes up any time down the long straight. Oh, he's gone for a slow exit actually for some reason. Either got his gearing wrong or got some kind of issue. I think he's just backed off. Bucky getting through the last chicane. Tricky little chicane, that last chicane. Running it to right hand side. Getting the fastest time possible. Lucky Bucky putting it in second place there as we follow him over the line. Good time there from Lucky Bucky. Damien behind him just jumps him there as he comes over the line to set his first fast time. Burnt Fright currently in first position there. We're 1:58.439, so the times are getting quicker now. Mrs. Biggins sets a new fastest time of 2:01.197. Unfortunately, that's not quite quick enough to see him in the top 10, I don't think. So Burnt Fry's got Armin in front of him. Armin obviously not wanting to give up his qualifying lap, and Burnt Fry not wanting to either, so it ends up in this heated battle at times in qualifying. Burnt Fry now is backed out of this lap, letting Armin take the run. Oh, Damien in the barriers just as we join him. So Damien, not sure what exactly has happened there, but it's obviously all gone wrong. Looks like on the exit, bit of oversteer, corrected it and put it into the barriers by the look of it. That would be my suspicion. So Armin doing decent job so far in 5th position, Gnarly Pop in 6th. We'll go through the order actually. Burnt Fry in 1st, Damien in 2nd, Mrs. Miggins in 3rd now after putting in 2:01.197. Lucky Bucky in 4th, Armin in 5th, Gnarly Pop in 6th, Tiny Tortoise in 7th, Gumsy in 8th, Stair Wheel Racing in 9th, Cutler in 10th and Neutron Storm in 11th. Neutron Storm not in the ideal situation there, really close to a car in front. He's got the braking all wrong into here. Nope, gathered it up just about, but not the ideal moment to catch there from Neutron Storm. Not going to be his best lap, I dare say. Gnarly Pop, we saw him taking provisional pole quite early on, but he's been knocked down into 8th now. Damien in the pits this time, getting towards 9 minutes in, so 6 minutes left for this qualifying session. Guys have a chance to run a bit more fuel off, come in maybe a lap later again and get an out lap in. It's obviously quite a long lap, roughly 2 minutes, so you've got to bear that in mind for an out lap and then be able to get a fast lap in as well. Evening, Sean. Hope you're alright. So, Burnt Fry currently half a second to the second sitter of Steer Wheel Racing. So Burnt Fry once again in qualifying, showing that he's got the pace, both in the BMWs these two, and both battling it out for the championship lead. Steer Wheel Racing in the BMW M3, Burnt Fry in the M6. Damien on an outlap, looking to improve no doubt towards the end. Lower fuel on now, fresh tyres. I think we'll see a few pit stops this time round coming as the guys come towards the end of this lap. Burnt Fry set another time, and it's a new fastest as well, so he's set a 1:58.177 to further secure that pole position at the moment. Harmon in the pits. Steer Wheel Racing, I think, was just in the pits there as well, getting some fresh rubber on. Mrs. Miggins diving in the pits, like I predicted, everyone choosing the last minute to get in the pits, get some fresh rubber on, and still have enough time to get that outlap done, that 2-minute outlap, and get another fast lap in. Steer Wheel Racing, can he improve? He's 7/10, nearly 8/10 off pole position at the moment with his current time of 1:58.947. He's on his outlap, so we'll tune back in with him later, see how he does. Let's see what Damien's first sector time is here. Is it an improvement? Oh, it looks like he went a little bit deep into there, had to regather the line. Crucial to keep the line as smooth as possible through those corners. Means that you can carry that extra mile an hour or two. It might only be a little bit, but it makes all the difference. Yeah, not bad, thank you, Sean, not bad. Oh, what's that, Damien? Sorry, I was just looking at the chat. Damien spun it. So unfortunately Damien won't be improving this time. Gets it going again. There's no damage, so he will be able to hopefully get round and get another lap in, but he's wasted that one. Cutler now in 4th position, so he's improved from his earlier time that saw him lower down. Got himself up the field a little bit. He's considerably down on this lap though, 4 seconds down on his fastest lap, so there's a lot of time to be made up there. He's lost out somewhere along the lap. Gnarly Pop in front of him as well. Lucky Bucky in 8th. Gumsy, oh Gumsy just sat there, getting out of the way by the look of it. Tiny Tortoise in 10th. 11th is Neutron Storm. So we've got 2 minutes left now of qualifying. Cutler just getting some damage repaired by the look of it. Fresh tyres on. Don't think he'll get another lap in there. So will Steer Wheel Racing, this is a question now, Steer Wheel Racing, will he improve? He's got the pole sitter behind him as well, Burnt Fry, to actually put a little bit of pressure on him, possibly make him make a mistake. Steer Wheel Racing definitely doesn't want this in qualifying, pressure from behind. You just want to get a nice clean lap in, and if anything, he's giving the slipstream to his main competitor. Through the second part of Spoon onto the long back straight. Look at that for slipstream, using it to its maximum advantage there, Burnt Fry. Unfortunately, because of that though, it can't take 130R, you don't want to be battling side by side in qualifying. So he has to give the corner to Steer Wheel Racing in front. Let's see what time he puts in here, it could be good. Oh, it's good, but Burnfry's just improved straight behind him. Straight after, it was a 1:58.780 from Steel Wheel Racing. Burnfry just done a 1:56.9. I think that was his outlap though, so it doesn't count. But certainly putting the pressure on Steel Wheel Racing there to get that lap in. So in comparison, Damien having quite the quiet qualifying. Now the 15 minutes is up. He's about to come over the line for his final lap. Let's see if he can improve and get it into second. I'm not sure it will be. Nope, it's a 1:59 in the end. So secures third place at the moment. Let's see if anyone behind can improve. Cutler's not going to improve from fourth. Can Gnarly Pop improve? Don't look so. With him ghosting. Armin on the grass. Don't look like that's going to be an improvement. Neutron Storm, he's just cruising away. Mrs. Miggins has stopped already. Lucky Bucky, let's see if he can improve. Still got the remainder of this lap to go. Is he on a good one? Gumsy in 10th, he's sat in the pits. Tiny Tortoise in 11th, sat in the pits as well. So Lucky Bucky looks like he's about the only one that's possibly looking to improve on this lap. Let's see how he does. Has he got a chance to do it? Burnfry were 1:57.294 in the end with his final lap. No, Lucky Bucky unfortunately still in 9th. No improvement there from him in the end. So Burnfry goes a little bit quicker, but he was already in pole, but just shows a little bit more dominance over the field with an extra quick time there. All of a sudden into the 1:57s and a low 1:57 as well. So great time there from Burnfry. Quick stuff. Knows how to chuck that M6 around. Phil messed it up a little bit there, but never mind, you can make up for it in the 50-minute race. Burnfry with a great time, saying hell yeah in the chat. So hopefully we get a good start from everyone here. Phil in 10th. Where's oh, we've lost Tiny Tortoise by the look of it. Tiny Tortoise looks like he's backed out, so down to 10 racers now on the field. Oh, what's happened there? Oh, everyone's backing out. Looks like they've been told to. Right, that's good. At least Tiny Tortoise don't miss out. Sure exactly what's going on here, but having a restart. Maybe we're allowing someone to enter that didn't quite make it to qualifying. I'm not sure. Hopefully we have a good race here though. Looking forward to this. I like the endurance races in this championship. The strategy certainly makes it interesting. It always tends to be pretty close between the drivers towards the end as well, in the final stint. So I think we've got a few minutes to wait now whilst the grid is automatically set by the host. So just keep an eye on the guys practicing. Neutron Storm, one of the younger drivers in the field, let's say. Certainly doesn't deter him there. Watch him nice and cleanly through the tricky section there in the Aston Martin. So, looks like we're ready to go again. Or maybe not. Good evening if you just joined. I'm just waiting for the race to start. I think there's a manual grid order being done at the moment. That's what we're waiting for. So yeah, 50-minute endurance tonight. I believe the guys have to use all 3 sets of tyres, so they have to use the soft, medium and hard tyre. There's no... they have to do it at their own discretion for the distance that they use the tyre for, so they can use a hard tyre for 1 lap and then come back straight in and go back on the soft tyre if they require that, and that's what they want to do. Ooh. We're just going a little bit wide there, gnarly pop. We might see that from a few of the guys during the race, hopefully not, but I feel we might do through the first Degner. Makes it really, really tricky if you're on the exit curb to get it broke for the second Degner. It's already a tricky enough corner and a bit of a late apex. Really easy to go wide on the exit is the second Degner, so yeah. Such an easy mistake, carrying too much speed through the first one. It is a fast corner, but you can carry too much speed, end up on that exit curb, and the braking's almost impossible for the second Degner. So hopefully, like I say, we don't see that during the race, but we probably will, I dare say. Oh, neutron storm. It's a good job we're in practice and not in the race at the moment. So that was a big one. Here we go. The countdown has started. We're about to get a go. So Burnfry leads us away with Stir Wheel Racing in second, Damien in third, and Cutler in fourth to round out our top 2 lines. Can't think of the word. Rows, that's the one. So 50 minutes, the guys should be nice and calm into T1, not push it too hard because it's a long race, they don't want to pick up damage early on. So Burnfry getting a good start in the BMW M6, Stir Wheel Racing getting bogged down a little bit. Not too bad though as Damien comes through in third. Damien running a little bit wide though on the exit curb. Oh, Damien's gone out wide. He's going to have to gather that back up. Gnarly pop into third. Neutron Storm in fourth. Armin getting through into fifth, side by side with Cutler. Ooh, on the grass though, that losing momentum. Mrs. Miggins gets side by side with Armin now. On the outside, next corner he finds himself on the inside. Mrs. Miggins gets through. Gumsy gets through as well. As Mrs. Miggins just opens the door, holds Armin on a bad line through there. So Armin drops down into 9th, Lucky Bucket up into 8th, Gumsy in 7th, Mrs. Miggins in 6th. Good start from those guys. Cutler in 5th, Neutron Storm in 4th. Gnarly Pop with a good start as well. Neutron Storm and Gnarly Pop side by side. Oh, just about gets his nose ahead, does Gnarly Pop. And to get onto the brakes for the heavy left-hander. Sorry, the slow left-hander. Heavy on the brakes for the slow left-hander. I'll say it again and say it correctly. So Burnfry getting a decent lead on this first opening lap. Stir Wheel Racing in second. Got Gnarly popping third, Neutron Storm in fourth. Good start from those guys to get themselves up into those podium positions already. Mrs. Miggins' first race with these guys. Gumsy back with us for the first time for a few weeks as well. So interesting to see how these guys are going to go. Miss Bigsy raced with us, but he's quit the championship, I think. Just wasn't enjoying it anymore. So I think those guys have filled in for Bigsy leaving. Lucky Bucky in 8th, Tiny Tortoise in 9th, Armin in 10th now. So Armin having a terrible start, going backwards right from the off. Just re-enter. There we go. Can switch up the angles now. So Armin in 10th, Damien in 11th, and Phil G in 12th. Oh dear me, a lot went on in that opening lap. What's going on further up? Mrs. Miggins is now chasing Cutler for 5th position. Pretty close together, the Audi R8 and the Jaguar F-Type. Great looking car in real life, the Jaguar. Absolutely love that car. Neutron Storm still in 4th, putting the pressure on the back of Gnarly Pop. Not letting him sit comfortably. Gnarly Pop, meanwhile, isn't that far off. He's 2.5 seconds off Stirwheel Racing. Stirwheel Racing looks like he's reeling that gap back into Burnt Fry in first as well. So keeping Burnt Fry honest in first position, not just allowing him to drive away easily. So our leaders are having a good opening stint here so far. Hopefully keep it clean, no major issues anywhere. There's a couple of tricky corners throughout this track, so hopefully there's no unforced errors, as I always like to think of it. A bit like tennis, where you make a mistake all on your own rather than it being someone else's fault. Lucky Bucky in 7th. Looks like he's clawing a bit of time back to Mrs. Miggins in 6th. Oh, going wide through 130R though. Has to gather it all back up. Just about pulls back ahead in front of Gumsy as they get back on the brakes through the last chicane. Come through the last corner now. And over the line to start lap 3. So Gumsy's looking feisty here. Both in the same car, the Mercedes AMG. Gumsy not looking down the inside this time. Whoa, just a little bit of curb collected there from Lucky Bucky. What's that going on as well from Mrs. Miggins? Mrs. Miggins had an incident through there. Oh, and there's collected, I think he just collected the side of Lucky Bucky, trying to get it going there again and put himself into the barriers. So Mrs. Miggins all of a sudden dropping back. Gumsy and Lucky Bucky making the most of that, so Gumsy getting through on Lucky Bucky as well. All of a sudden it kicked off there. Tiny Tortoise now up into 8th, Armin in 9th, Mrs. Miggins down into 10th after that. Damien in 11th, Phil in 12th still. Let's see what else is going on. Gumsy and Lucky Bucky having a good little battle early on though. Neutron Storm and Gnarly Pop still pretty close together, not much between them. Oh dear, from Sean in the chat here. It's not gone well there for Mrs. Miggins. Armin's now right on the back of Lucky Bucky, so I'm not sure exactly what's happened there, but Armin's come back into it very quickly. Let's have a look. Replay actually work? No, does it? Still doesn't work. Oh, goddamn. No. I hate you, Gran Turismo. So it looks like it's settling down a little bit this race now. Everyone just finding their rhythm, finding the position on track to go at a comfortable pace without too much pressure from behind. Looks like Tiny Tortoise doing a really good job now up into 7th, but he might have a little bit of an issue with Lucky Bucky chasing him down. Looks like he's coming quickly. Let's see how Tiny Tortoise holds him off. Tiny keeping it nice and clean through there. Keeping the pace on the guys behind. 2/10 down on his fastest. But that's not too bad. Lucky Bucky looks like he's closing up from in a couple of corners and then drops off a little bit with a little bit of a mistake, maybe pushing a little bit too hard at this point, and probably scrubbing his tyres a little bit more than Tiny Tortoise is in front. Looks like Tiny Tortoise is handling the car very nicely at the moment. Armin in 9th, just watching the battle develop in front of him. Let's see what's going on further afield though. Cutler driving around on his own, really 7-second lead in front to Gnarly Pop, and nearly a 4-second gap to Gumsy behind. Gnarly Pop in 4th. Now Neutron Storm finally got through up into 3rd position, and since that he's managed to make a 1.8 second gap to Gnarly Pop in 4th as well. So really good job, determined to get it done in the end, and he's finally made it work. Gets himself up into 3rd. Stairwheel Racing still sticking close to Burnt Fry, but a bit of a gap to still make up to challenge for 1st position. Burnt Fry leading this one away. Looks like he was incredibly wide through there, but pushing the boundaries of the track, getting away with it, carrying maximum speed through T1. Whoa, going a little bit deep through there as well. Hopefully keeps it clean. Looks like he's pushing that BMW as fast as it'll go. It's been good stuff so far. Let's jump on board with Gnarly Pop. Look at the back of Neutron Storm. Neutron Storm looked like he picked up a little bit of understeer through there, going incredibly deep, sacrificing the line through here. Gnarly Pop getting a good line, but maybe not carrying as much speed as he could have done. Into the first exit. Oh, look at that in front. Neutron Storm going wide. Comes back onto the track safely behind Gnarly Pop. So Gnarly Pop gets promoted back up into 3rd. Didn't really have to make too much of an effort for that one. Neutron Storm, with the unforced error that I mentioned earlier, dropping into 4th after that. Oh, dirty tyres as well means that he just gets a little bit of oversteer. He gets the power down, lower down in the gears. But there you go, he gets away with it in the end. No damage. He's on the medium tyre as well. He's still got a lot of fuel left, so he just needs to get his head back down, get some good laps back in, and try and catch Gnarly Pop in 3rd. Unfortunate mistake there to catch that. So this gap is closing down now, down to a second or thereabouts between Burnt Fry and Stairwheel Racing. So again, Stairwheel Racing keeping Burnt Fry very honest indeed in this race so far. Gnarly Pop now coming through the last chicane. Neutron Storm doing the same. Oh. Let's check back in. Oh, where's Tiny Tortoise gone? Hopefully he's gone for the pit stop and not. Nope, he hasn't pitted, so he's lost a few positions there. As looks like Gumsy, Armin and Lucky Bucky have all got past him. Armin have been quite a good showing so far in this one. Just great to say that though. Just lost a little bit of time there to Gumsy behind. In front, sorry. Getting myself all confused. So Damien in 10th. I'll start right at the back. Oh, we've got a bit of action at the back. It's Phil G and Mrs. Miggins side by side. Mrs. Miggins down the inside. It's a great name to call out as a commentator, Mrs. Miggins. down the inside on Phil G. Retakes 11th position after a bit of a mistake, dropped him back earlier on in the race. Damien in 10th, Tiny Tortoise in 9th, having a bit of a lonely race at the moment, 9 seconds in front, 9 seconds behind. Lucky Bucky in 8th, Armin in 7th, so these guys are having a bit of a battle between them, little mistakes are dropping them backwards and forwards. Gums in now, has secured 6th place, got a nice big gap to Armin in 7th, and is chasing down Cutler in 5th. Cutler on the hard tyre, no tyre wear at all really to speak of. Still got over half a tank of fuel, so Cutler will be going for the very long stint in this one. Might work out well for him in 5th position at the moment, could come to him quite well when he gets on those soft tyres. So Neutron Storm, after we saw that mistake from him as we were on board with Gnarly Pop, is now in 4th, chasing back the time he's lost to Gnarly Pop, trying to get that 3rd position back. We'll go on board with Neutron Storm. Not attacking the curbs maybe as much as he should be through that first sector. Oh, picking up a lot of understeer through there as well. Just having to wait and wait and wait to get back on the throttle and get the line back. So Neutron Storm looks like he's suffering a little bit on this medium tyre now. Now he's picked up a little bit of tyre wear. Correction as he just gets a little kick of oversteer. Still got a bit of steering lock on as he got on the power. Gnarly Pop going a little bit deep into the first part of spoon, but then Neutron Storm getting the second part of spoon a little bit wrong. Heading in for an apex a little bit too early there, I dare say, from Neutron Storm. Sacrificing his line out, but it all kind of worked out, and Gnarly Pop still keeps about the same gap in front. Finishes lap 7 there to start lap 8, closing in on the back of Gnarly Pop once again, but for the interest of the race we'll skip through, see what else is going on. Oh, do bear with me, my pad died, so I've had to sorry about that. My pad just died, so I had to restart it and sign back in. So looking back from Burnt Fry, still got Stir Wheel Racing chasing him at 1.4 seconds behind. Not a massive gap whatsoever, so again Burnt Fry not able to ease up in this race. Certainly not got it all to himself. Neutron Storm looks like he's ready to challenge for that 3rd position again. Going to get the slipstream, get it done into the chicane towards the end of this lap. Looks like the AMG's got it over him down the straight. Don't particularly pull in, even in the slipstream, going wide as well through 130R. Has to gather it up. Make sure he gets the braking right now for the chicane. Big moment like that can put you off. So makes up a little bit of time on Gnarly Pop through that lap, but then drops it all through the last chicane and the last sector. So Gumsy in 5th, slowly making up time on the guys behind, no doubt. Obviously making a few mistakes as we see. Harmony in 6th. Everyone having quite a lonely one at this point now. Waiting for the pit stops personally to bring the strategy back into this one. Oh, a bit of damage on Cutler's car. Front aero damage, front right suspension damage as well. So he'll be suffering a little bit and losing a little bit of lap time. Cutler going wide, he's binned it there, just got a bit of oversteer going, didn't quite correct it fast enough and put it into the barrier, so got even worse damage now, no doubt. Pulls into the pits to repair that. Not a great moment there for Cutler, and that'll have just lost him more time, luckily just before the pits at least, so he can dive straight in. That has split into Mrs. Miggins' hands. Now jumps up into 8th. Tiny Tortoise as well, now into 9th. Phil G into 10th. Damien in 11th. And Cutler coming out of the pits in 12th. So it's all gone a little bit wrong for Cutler in this one. Phil G battling hard to get 9th off Tiny Tortoise. Been some good action so far in this one. Some good overtakes. Let's see what Phil can do here if he does anything. Through the second Degner. Up towards the tight left hairpin. Heavy on the brakes into here. Want to hook up the apex, get as good an exit as you can. That's perfect English, that, gooder. Maximise the exit. Full on power down here. Using the hill to accelerate as fast as quickly. And then coming into the first part of Spoon. Looking to carry the speed through the corner, then get the braking done. And hook up the late apex for the second part. Phil and Tiny Tortoise both going a little bit wide through there. Making the same mistake so it doesn't affect the time difference between them really. What else have we got going on? Neutron Storm's dropped off the back of Gnarly Pop again now. So that race has died off. Oh, Stairwheel Racing now in first position. So I'm not sure how that's happened other than the pit stops. Burnt Fry is now on fresh soft tyres. He's on his outlap as well, so Burnt Fry has just pitted. And Stairwheel Racing is now in first place, yet to pit. So can he make this last lap now really count? Come into the pits and get out in front of Burnt Fry. It was incredibly close. There was just over a second between them before they started this pit stop window. So will Stairwheel Racing come in this lap, or will he sacrifice losing more time and going for another lap? He's 1.5 seconds down. He's got to come in really if he's got anything about his strategy. He's got to come in this lap really to get his tyres sorted. Otherwise he's just going to lose too much time to Burnt Fry. Oh no, he's gone again. So he's just lost over a second and a half in 2.3 seconds near enough. He's just lost on that lap, so that one is just going to play right into Burnt Fry's hands, not pitting this lap. Burnt Fry on the soft tyre though, so it might work out later on, I'm not sure. But Stairwheel Racing sacrificing the lap times now for the track position. Gnarly Pop in third, Neutron Storm again not far behind. Quite a good battle going on between those two throughout the race. Comes in fifth. Goldberg down a little bit in the mid pack now. Armin in sixth, Lucky Bucky in seventh, Mrs. Miggins in 8th, we've got Phil G in 9th, Damien in 10th, all heading down the long straight with a couple of seconds between them. Cutler in 11th and Tiny Tortoise in 12th now. He's gone for a pit stop, he's on his outlap and he's on fresh tyres. Maybe I shouldn't have had this beer. you're enjoying this, feel free to hit that like button. If not, hit that dislike button. I'd appreciate it if you would. Thank you very much. So, Steer Wheel Racing still got a 10-second lead, or it was 10 seconds, but it's coming down incredibly quickly as Burnt Fry on the soft tyre behind just closes in and closes in with the lap times. Will Steer Wheel Racing come in the pits this time round? It's got pretty low fuel, it could go for another lap, but again, he must be conscious that he's losing so much time. Yep, comes in this time. Let's see where Burnt Fry is. Burnt Fry just coming through the last chicane. So Burnt Fry with 3/4 of a tank of fuel, and he's going to have quite a lead now, I think, as Steer Wheel Racing's still sat in the pits. Will Gnarly Pop even get past Steer Wheel Racing now? Might even claim second position. I'm not sure he will though. He's coming in the pits as well. So Steer Wheel's out. Evening, Billy. How's it going, mate? So Burnt Fry is back into first position. He's now got a 9-second lead as well. So that's what I was saying about that stint there from Steer Wheel Racing. I'm surprised he didn't pit earlier, because that gap should grow more and more the longer he stayed out. And now it's 9 seconds the advantage to Burnt Fry. Whereas before the pit stop window opened, it was roughly a second and a half, 2 seconds between them. So he's just lost more or less 7 seconds by driving around for those extra couple of laps there, Steer Wheel Racing. And that's, you can't get away from that sometimes. That's a lot of time lost. So Neutron Storm into third with all that excitement. I've missed that. Neutron Storm now into third, Gnarly Pop in fourth. Yeah, not too bad. Cheers, Billy. Good to hear. Good to hear you're good. Gumsy in fifth. Armin in sixth. Whew. Voice broke a little bit there. Oh, someone going slower there. Look like Lucky Bucky has just been passed by Damien. Yeah, I think Damien's just got past, so Damien now up into 8th. Phil's in 7th now as well, so these guys are closing the race back up and managing to make the positions back up. They were quite a long way back. Phil was right at the back at one point, and now he's in 7th, so doing a great job. Still a long way off the leader, but still having a great race between them. Damien in 8th, Lucky Bucky in, oh god, just jumped between players there. Lucky Bucky in 9th, Cutler in 10th, and Mrs. Miggins now in 11th. Tiny Tortoise in 12th, unfortunately, right at the back now. So a lot of work to do for the guys at the right at the back to get back into this one, but a couple of the guys have done it slowly but surely. We're halfway through as well, so there's a long time left. It's a long old race, it's a 50-minute race. Plenty of incidents that could still play out. We're on lap 12 now, and we're exactly halfway through. Can Phil fend off Damien behind here? Look, Damien, oh, Phil goes into the pits. Allows Damien to just go through up into 7th. I was going to say he's about to make a move, but there was no need in the end. Phil jumping in the pits. Cutler gets promoted back up into 8th. Lucky Bucky in 9th. Phil just dropping the positions as he sits there in the pits. Mrs. Miggins might even get through up into 10th. Meanwhile, Phil gets going again, and Mrs. Miggins, where is it? Still a bit further down the straight, so comes out on his own in the end, does Phil. So let's skip up. Pretty much all the guys are pitted now for one strategy or another. We've got Gnarly Pop on the hard tyre, I can't help but notice. So Gnarly Pop in 4th position now on the hard tyre. So that's quite a strong position to be in. 45 seconds off the leader there, and he's dropping time. But at the same time, getting his hard tyres stint out of the way, and he's not in a bad position. Meanwhile, Steering Wheel Racing has got the gap down. It was around. Now Steering Wheel Racing's got the soft tyre on, and later in the race, he's got the gap down over 3 seconds. Is claimed off Burnt Fry in first. Sorry, he's nearly got 4 seconds off him actually. So it was round about 10 seconds, 9 seconds. So he's claimed definitely 3 seconds off him. Burnt Fry with the fastest lap so far of a 1:58.067. That's a good lap time. We saw a 1:57.294, I think it was, in qualifying, which was mightily impressive. But I don't think we'll quite see those lap times in the race. That must have been really pushing it. Steering Wheel Racing with a personal best sector. And on for a good lap on his soft tyres now. Closing that gap slowly but surely to Burnt Fry, so we'll keep an eye on that. Neutron Storm just on a race of his own at the moment, really. Gnarly Pop, similar story for him. Gumsy in 5th, again similar story for him. Massive gaps in front and behind. Armin the same for him. Everyone's driving around on their own, really, apart from Cutler and Damien. So Cutler now in 7th, Damien challenging for 7th in the AMG behind. AMG versus Audi. Coming through the fast sweeping right left-handers of the opening sector. So Cutler getting the line a lot noticeably a lot neater than Damien through there, so able to carry a little bit more speed in the Audi R8. Both get through the first Degner nicely. But good close stuff between these two, really. Whilst everyone else is kind of in their own little race. Just getting their head down and trying to get the laps in. And these guys are battling away still. Lucky Bucky as well, he'll be keen to get involved. Phil in 10th as well, not far off the battle. Tiny Tortoise still in 12th, Mrs. Miggins in 11th, just to check in on those guys. Let's keep an eye on Damien there. Oh, drifting a little bit through the middle part of Spoon, trying to get turned in for the second apex. Colours now pulled a nice little gap compared to what it was between Damien and himself a lap ago. So the midfield battle for 7th is definitely on. Possibly 8th as well if Lucky Bucky manages to close in the time to Damien, and Phil can still get involved in this race as well if he just sticks to the back of Lucky Bucky and he drags himself up to Damien slowly. The midfield battle could still be on towards the end here. We're on lap 15 and we've just got over 20 minutes to go. Armin looked like he got a little bit wild through the second Degner there. Let's see if he gets it. Yep, gets the braking done nicely through the left-hand hairpin. Good exit as well in the Aston Martin in 6th position. Checking on Gumsy. Gumsy with a little bit of a penalty that he needs to get rid of. Nothing major though. Ooh, drifting out wide a little bit onto the marbles through the middle sector of Spoon. Can be absolutely critical. If you go out wide there, you lose a lot of time. It's almost impossible. You pick up so much understeer, it's almost impossible to get it back on the track without losing a good couple of seconds at least. So Neutron Storm still in 3rd, having a great race. Neutron Storm Steer Wheel Racing got the gap down to 4 seconds now between him and Burnt Fry in first. So doing a good job. This sector of the race, consistent lap times as well, roughly around the 158.7 marker, sorry, as an average. A little penalty there for Burnt Fry as well. Not sure where he's picked that up. He's got quite a lot of tyre wear at the front, well, in fact all round, so they'll be looking to get to the pits sometime soon, will Burnt Fry. He's losing a lot of time as well now. I think he'll pit this lap. Little prediction. He's losing too much time to Steer Wheel Racing behind. The gap's down to 3.5 seconds now. Let's see if he dives in. Will our leader pit this lap round? Nope. So that's just going to allow Steer Wheel Racing to close in that gap furthermore. Down to 3 seconds now. Let's see how he does. Let's go on board with him. He needs to keep this lap nice and clean. We've got Burnt Fry with traffic in front as well, so he's got back markers in front. Tiny Tortoise to get past now. Tiny Tortoise just getting out of the way, but he might have lost a little bit of time with that distraction up in front of the back markers. Let's see if Steer Wheel Racing gets gifted the same opportunity to get past the back markers in front. Looks like they could end up getting caught at a bad time on the track instead. Between the Degners here or between the slow left-hand hairpin, and they're both battling for position themselves as well, so this is playing right into Burnt Fry's hands. That's Tiny Tortoise realising what's going on, gets right out of the way, and there we go. Steer Wheel Racing gets through eventually, but because of that he's lost a second at least to Burnt Fry in front, so that's played into Burnt Fry's hands definitely. Just playing out perfectly for Burnt Fry because of where he caught them on the track. It wasn't such a good position for Steer Wheel Racing to actually get past them there and not lose time, so just played out well, and that's the way it goes sometimes. The luck goes towards the guy who's in the lead, and it all seems to work out nicely for him, so he gains a little bit extra time there without having to really do anything. Let's see what else is going on. Let's see if the battle between Cutler and Damien is still hot. No, not really. Damien coming out of the pit, still in 8th position, so he's still got Cutler in front, but there's a big gap now to close in. Mrs. Miggins in 9th, not far behind Damien to be fair. Just over a second and a half between them. Should be back, Sean should be back in it, but that's his decision at the end of the day. Should be in it though, Sean, definitely. Kind of Tortoise in the pits. I'm not sure if he's sat there waiting for the end of the race or if he's actually having a pit stop, but he's a long way back now. Lucky Bucky, no, he's come out, so he's in 12th. Lucky Bucky in 11th, Phil in 10th, we've got Mrs. Miggins in 9th, Damien in 8th, Cutler in 7th, Armin in 6th, Gubbs in 5th, Gnarly Pop in 4th, Neutron Storm in 3rd, Steer Wheel Racing in 2nd, and Burnt Fry in 1st. Steer Wheel Racing's managed to make up a second, half a second since we last popped in on them. Gubbs now coming in the pits. Will this play into the hands of Armin? It looks like it, coming through the last chicane. Nope. Armin's in the pits as well. Will this play into the hands of Cutler? Coming through 130R. I think he's a bit too far back to actually make a position out of the pit stops. Let's see though. Not this season, he says. He'll be back another season maybe, says Sean. Cutler going a little bit deep into there. Got the braking wrong. Oh, dives into the pits as well, so he doesn't manage to make up any positions because he's got the same fate going on. Pit stop, pit stop, pit stop from those guys. Armin coming out now in 6th. So Damien coming through in 7th. How far behind Armin is he? A few seconds, 5 seconds behind. So a bit of time to make up to close that gap up. It's all kind of died off a little bit, gap between more or less every single car here. We'll go through again, see what action's going on. Mrs. Miggins has had a bit of a mixed race, been right at the back, come back through, been right at the back again. So all in all, he's done a grand old job to be still in 8th position. Oh, what's happened to Phil there? Phil's had a massive moment, he's picked up damage. Unlucky there for Phil, I'm not sure what's gone on. Looks like he's just lost it big time, maybe gone into the barriers, coming through the first sector. Now he's got the whole of the lap to go with engine damage, so that's going to be a really slow lap for Phil. He's going to lose a lot of time through that one. Lucky Bucky is definitely going to make up a position through that. Tiny Tortoise, I dare say, might even make up a position as well. So Phil now having to limp round to the pits for a full lap. Cutler still on his outlap on the fresh tyre towards the end. 12 minutes to go, and now he can just push. The tyres will ease the last 12 minutes, and he can just force as much time out of those tyres as possible. Close the gap to Mrs. Miggins even in front. So this is about our closest action at the moment, Damien and Mrs. Miggins. Burnt Fry and Steer Wheel Racing both in the pits. Look like they came in more or less at the same time there as well, so not much between them. The fuel is exactly the same between them as well, 1 litre between them. So they should be on for a very similar pit stop time here, and it should be interesting. See who comes out first. Is that Steer Wheel Racing? Steer Wheel Racing's come out, got track position. He might have gone short with his fuel to be able to do that. He's got the hard tyre on though. Burnt Fry in second. He's got the hard tyre on as well though. That could be a stroke of genius there from Steer Wheel Racing. So they're both on the hard tyre, but Steer Wheel's jumped him in the pits. Definitely different fuel strategy. So Burnt Fry's got 3/4 of a tank. Steer Wheel Racing gone for just less than half a tank. So Steer Wheel Racing might have to do a bit of fuel saving now. There is only 10 minutes left, so it might work out fine for him, but he might have to worry about that later on the hard tyre now as well. So maybe pushing to the end. Now they pop in the pits from third. Allows Neutron Storm to drive through and take third position off him. In fact, here he comes. Neutron Storm's already. No, he isn't. Neutron Storm's 2.2 seconds behind Gnarly Pop as Gnarly Pop comes out of the pits from third position, regains third as he rejoins the track. And Neutron Storm has now got a target in front of him to chase. Gnarly Pop 2.2 seconds in front. But Mrs. Miggins in the pits now. Damien coming through to take 7th. Harmon in 6th as well. Also gained a position, I think. No, he hasn't. Harmon was already in 6th. So skipping back up, let's check on the gap between these two. Down to 2 seconds now between Steer Wheel Racing and Burnt Fry for the lead. Steer Wheel Racing currently our leader. Let's see how it goes, this last stint between the two of them. Blue flag's waved, so it looks like they're catching another back marker up as well. So Neutron Storm's got the gap down to 2 seconds as well between those two. So it's interesting in the closing stages of this race, the last 9 minutes now. We'll see what happens between the guys, look at this as well. We've got Damien just driving through on Armin. Easy in the end by the look of it. Armin just having a little bit of a moment, got the braking a little bit wrong, went deep on the brakes, and Damien just making the opportunity work. So Damien up into 6th. Armin will now want that position back. He's not far behind, slipstreaming down the straight. Let's see what he does into the last chicane. Taking 130R nice and comfortably. Not pushing too hard on the exit. The gap's down to 6 tenths. 5 tenths. Half a second between them as they come to start lap 21. So the battle for 6th is well and truly on. Let's skip through, see what else is going on. Not a great deal of close action between these guys at the back. Let's jump back to Armin and Damien. Bumper to bumper stuff, more or less. Half a second between them. Meanwhile, we've got the chase between Neutron Storm and Gnarly Pop. Bit of a gap to develop. Gnarly Pop looks like he's gained more or less a second over Neutron Storm since we last checked in. And Burnt Fry is incredibly close to the back of Steerwheel Racing now, so we'll keep an eye on this for the lead. 7 minutes left. Can Burnt Fry close in the gap to the leader and take that first place off him? Let's go on board with Burnt Fry. You can see the hesitation, oh, excuse me, compared to the soft tyre and the hard tyre. Really having to wait to get back on the power, wait for the understeer to cure, and again, massive lift through there instead of aggressively attacking the corner. And that's just the hard tyre making a huge difference. Doing a good job though, catching right up to the back of steer wheel. Putting the pressure on now, must be aware he's there. Gnarly Pop in 3rd position now. Neutron Storm in 4th. Gumsy in 5th, Damien in 6th, Armin in 7th, Mrs. Miggins in 8th. So good stuff from Burnt Fry here just to keep it close, but not finding the opportunity to get past this lap. 2 seconds down as well on his fastest lap. So losing a lot of time through this lap. Closing right up to him in the last chicane. Oh, a little moment of oversteer as well there from steer wheel. Allows a little bit of a gap to open up for Burnt Fry just to dive down the inside and takes 1st place. Tiny little mistake there from steer wheel racing, just getting on the power a little bit too aggressively, and that was the big difference there. Steer wheel racing making the most of a tiny mistake there, and just pulled through to take 1st place. Can he keep it? He's got 5 minutes to go. Steer wheel racing now able to just force the pressure and try and put as much pressure on. Stick with Burnt Fry. Burnt Fry obviously trying to get a gap now and try and get comfortable towards the end in the last 5 minutes. Gnarly Pop in 3rd, no pressure on, really behind. Not anything close anyway. Neutron Storm, saying that, less than a second behind. So the race for 3rd is still on as well. Neutron Storm looking to take it off Gnarly Pop. Oh, Gumsy having a big moment through 130R. He's picked up a big load of oversteer, too much to correct, and got a massive spin going. Planted it into the barriers, got all sorts of damage, so he's going to have to pit from 5th position now, diving into the pits. He's going to have to sort that out before the end of the race. Does that allow Damien to come through? He's coming through into the last chicane now. I dare say with Gumsy's damage there, that will give the place to Damien. So Damien will all of a sudden, he might not necessarily realise what's going on, but he'll find himself a lot closer to Gumsy. Gumsy coming out actually, regaining 5th position, so he's not lost the position, but he's lost a lot of time now to Damien in 6th, Armin in 7th, Mrs. Miggins in 8th, Cutler in 9th, not a lot going on between these guys. Lucky Bucket in 10th, Phil in 11th, Tiny Tortoise in 12th, keeping it going between them at the back. But meanwhile we have a bit of action to watch. Neutron Storm, I'm not sure what's happened there. He must have had a big incident somewhere along the way, because the gap has just grown by about 12 seconds. It was down to a second to Gnarly Pop in 3rd, but it's grown massively now. Still Wheel Racing diving in the pits. Oh, will this play into Gnarly Pop's hands? I don't think so. 47-second gap between them, so I don't think it'll really make any difference. Still Wheel Racing, what's he done there? I'm sure he's just come in to get a little bit more fuel, maybe, I'm not sure. He hasn't put new tyres on. Maybe had a little bit of damage to get rid of. But that allows Burnt Fry a 25-second lead now, so Burnt Fry is home and dry so long as he keeps it on track. Has no major issues towards the end of this one. He will only have one more lap to go when he comes over the line to start lap 25. Lap 25 being the last lap. So Neutron Storm has robbed us of a little bit of action between the guys towards the end for 3rd position, but never mind. Hard engine damage, I know. It's once you pick up the damage, and especially early on in the lap, and you've got to do more or less the whole lap with damage, then yep, it's never good, never good. Ideally, if you're going to pick up engine damage, you want to do it right before the pit entry. So Gumsy still in 5th, Damien in 6th. The gap between them quite big, not enough time to really bring that gap down now. Mrs. Miggins in 8th, chasing Armin down in 7th. And again, we're checked in on the guys at the back, not a lot going on. So what else have we got going on? Oh, Gnarly Pop having to come through the field there, coming through on Tiny Tortoise. Someone else following him through as well. Who is that? That's Phil following Gnarly Pop through. So we are on to the last lap. So just to give a little bit of credit to Burnt Fry, our race leader, we'll go on board with him. And it's been a good race all in all. He hasn't had the lead the whole time. It's been quite the battle between him and Steer Wheel Racing the whole way through, but in the end it's worked out in the favour of Burnt Fry, and he's now looking to finish this one in 1st place with his 25-second lead. All he has to do is keep on track. He can more or less cruise round and he'll still win, and job's a good one. Going through the slow left-hander. Nicely through Spoon there. Bit of power mid-corner, which is always good to see, and then back on the brakes for the 2nd apex. So a couple of the guys have already come over the line. Gumsy, Damien have already finished in 5th and 6th. Armin is about to finish in 7th, Mrs. Miggins in 8th, Cutler in 9th, Lucky Bucket in 10th, Phil in 11th, Tiny Tortoise is going to be in 12th in the end unless anything drastic happens. Burnt Fry coming through the last chicane now. Burnt Fry about to win this race with a 26-second lead in the end, cruising over the line to take 1st place. Steer Wheel Racing nice and secure in 2nd, coming through 130R for the last time on lap 25. Gets the braking done nice and early, ready for the last chicane, cruises through to take second position. Gnarly Pop's going to finish us off in third for our podium. Still Wheel Racing coming over the line then in second, good race for him. Becoming a bit of deja vu is the results week on week between Burnt Fry and Still Wheel Racing at the moment. Gnarly Pop with a good result this time. Another podium. Won one of the sprint races last week. There was 2 races in round 6 last week. Feel free to go back and check that out on YouTube if you haven't done so already. Gnarly Pop coming over the line in third. Well done. Good result to round out our podium. And then Neutron Storm with a very respectable 4th position in the end. Oh, spins it. He's going to reverse over the line. Cheeky bugger. Oh, he's not very good at reversing that. Neutron Storm finishing in style in 4th. Into the barriers with an attempted J-turn, and there we go. Gumsy in 5th, Damien in 6th, 7th is Armin, and I'll quickly finish it off by going through the results. But yeah, that concludes race round 7. Sorry. Whew. Thank you very much for Team Oliver Racing for sponsoring this, giving us the prizes. Thank you very much for watching. Let's quickly check out the results once again. So Burnt Fry finishing in 1st, congratulations. Still Wheel Racing in 2nd, well done. Gnarly Pop in 3rd to finish out our podium. Neutron Storm in 4th, Gumsy in 5th, Damien in 6th, Armin in 7th, Mrs Miggins in 8th, Cutler in 9th, Lucky Bucky in 10th, Phil G in 11th, and Tiny Tortoise finishing in 12th in the end. Great race there from Billy. I agree, it was a good one. It was rather entertaining. The strategy didn't quite play into it quite as much as I thought in the end, but that's the way it goes, that's the racing. But yeah, some good overtakes, some good racing going on, and the guys can be proud of themselves once again. Anyway, without much further ado, I am pretty much going to wrap it up and leave it there. Thank you again if you've stuck with me and watched me from the start. Cheers, and yeah, cheers for joining me, guys, really appreciate it. Take care. I will see you again next week if you feel like joining me, and yeah, hopefully it'll be a great round 8 again. There's 10 rounds in this championship, so 8, 9 and 10 to go, 3 rounds to go, and yeah, hopefully you'll join me for the final 3 rounds. Take care, see you again soon, and adios. Take care, Billy.